Ever looked at text from an old relationship? It's like finding the black box in a crashed airplane. And yep, this is where it all started to go south. Some warning lights were going off in the cockpit, and the pilots thought they could ignore them until they landed. People sometimes ask me how I can live by myself without pets, and the answer is easily. But why don't you want a pet? Wouldn't you like a furry little friend that loves you unconditionally? Sure, that would be nice, but you know why I don't have a pet? Because I don't agree with slavery. Many people lament the fact that at one point slavery was legal in America and considered a dark part of our country's heritage, and many of those same people are currently slave owners. If you own a pet, you are indeed a slave owner. That's ridiculous. My pets love me. I'm not a slave owner. Really, do you keep a living thing in your possession, confine it to your property, and deny it basic free will? Because that sounds like slavery to me. No, I rescued my pet and I give it a good home, so they're better off because of me. First of all, unless you physically rescued your pet from some sort of dire situation, stop calling it a rescue like you're some sort of saint. You walked into a pet store and heard the salesperson say, well, you can have this nice purebred for $1,000, or you can have this rescue for much less money. And you, a wise individual, said, interesting. If I go with the cheaper one here, do I get to call it a rescue and walk around with an undeserved sense of self-righteousness? Why, yes, of course. I think we have a deal. So congratulations, you're a cheapskate. My dog isn't a slave, he likes it at my house. Really? Did he ever try to run away? Well, yeah, but he came back because he missed me. He didn't miss you, he missed having consistent meals and shelter. It's like Plato's allegory of the cave, where people are chained upside down in a dark cave and look at shadows on the wall for entertainment. The cave is the only reality that these people know, so they consider it normal. One day, one of the people in the cave finds a way out of his restraints and escapes the cave. Once he reaches the outside world, he finds that it's hot, the sun is bright, and it burns his skin, and there are many dangers and hardships that didn't exist while he was in the cave. But once he learns to adapt to the outside world, he finds that it is, indeed, better than the cave. When he goes back into the cave and tries to tell his family that they should come with him to the outside world, they reject his offer because they are quite content in the cave and don't think that his description of the outside world sounds desirable. Your house is basically your pet's cave. They lack freedom, but they have the convenience of a consistent life. If they run away, they merely find that freedom is difficult and they aren't willing to learn to live for themselves, so they go back into slavery because it gives them stability. And you think it's okay to own pets because pets aren't people and they're better off because of us. Wow, that's pretty specious of you. Much like a slave owner in antebellum America, you are making the claim that the being that you are enslaving is inferior to you, and therefore you are justified as a slave owner. Who knows, there could come a day in a few hundred years when kids look back at people like you and ask, how could they think it was okay to enslave an animal? Don't be on the wrong side of history. Learn to be self-reliant so that you can get along without a pet.